Whoa!
Well, hello everyone. It's good to see you again. This is Malty and Jessica Lindstrom from the GCA. We're back with another episode in the series. How you doing, Jess?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Had to get out of the way. Speaking of getting wrecked, probably everyone who talks shit in Az's chat, we have one of the people with the hottest trigger fingers on the left click mouse button. We have got as our special guest today.
Yay!
It's Lady Erin.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Pretty darn good.
Hi, Jess.
So, hi.
So we are doing this next part in our series. We are talking about in the Disney Renaissance, Aladdin. Woo!
Yay!
I love Aladdin.
Probably the top 3 of everyone's favorite Disney animated films of all time. Everyone
It's
adds
up there.
Aladdin.
So since we're doing Aladdin, and I heard that it's your favorite, why is Aladdin your favorite, Erin? Could you tell us why?
I think because at the time it was the first Disney movie, cartoon feature that they kind of broke the third wall and talked to the audience a little bit. And they used a lot of humor that was more like adult themed. And just little things like the Robin Williams bits were just so, like, even as an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't catch that as a kid because you just don't know. But even as a child, it had that witty humor and that addressing the audience kind of stuff. And I felt like, oh, they're talking to me. I get it. And so I think that's it was different than what we had seen with other Disney films. And so I think that's why I liked it so much.
Breaking the fourth wall definitely was a thing. Robin Williams known for doing it quite a bit, especially when he does the Rodney Dangerfield thing.
Yeah, the Rodney Dangerfield thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, there are some lines from Aladdin himself right before one of the first songs. He's like, "All this for a loaf of bread."
That's
it really just engages the audience a little bit more. I mean, especially as young people. I'm assuming we were all extremely young when we watched it first.
I definitely was.
Yeah. What about you, Lady Erin? Or did you watch it like Sonia did right after COVID?
I think it came out in 92, right? So I was in like 7th grade, I want to say. So I was like just on the cusp of, like high school age, teenage, like you don't care about that kind of stuff. I didn't see it in the theater, but I'm pretty sure that I had friends or family members that had it on VHS, and I watched it obsessively after I had seen it the first time. I liked the music. I thought it was hilarious. So yeah, it definitely became one of the regular things to watch when there's nothing on television back then.
That is true, because back in the days, there was only like a couple channels you could watch.
Right.
You had the 5 free ones. Yeah. What was it? WB, UPN, PBS, NBC, CBS, ABC.
And like a Fox, yeah.
Maybe Fox.
Yeah.
If you were lucky. If you lived in the South. So, how long? This is just an off-topic question, but kind of on topic as well. How long did it take you to realize that the street vendor in the very beginning that begins telling the tale was the same voice as the genie?
Not that long. I think I grew up watching Robin Williams. My parents were huge fans of Good Morning Vietnam. They thought that movie was just hilarious. Mork and Mindy was on TV when I was a kid, so that was my first introduction. I was too young, obviously, to see Good Morning Vietnam. It wasn't age appropriate, but but my parents loved him and they thought the show was cute. And I knew his voice well. And I think it was probably the second or third time that I watched it that I was like, oh, I know who that is. And I forget which line it is, but he says something and you can pick it up. And so it didn't take me too long, I don't think. But I could see where you wouldn't notice right away.
Yeah,
Which
it took
also makes great Julian fries. Will not break the nut.
It took me a couple watch throughs to realize, oh, that's the same voice.
Yeah.
It's just, oh.
He did that in Happy Feet as well. I believe there was a couple of the penguins that he did voices for.
It was the three little, all of the it was
the shorter
was
ones with the
penguins.
crazy hair.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of penguins, but yeah.
Well, he thought he was like a Joel Osteen because he had something. He had like one of the 6-pack the plastic things that get stuck around.
Yeah, the O-rings from the soda cans. Yeah.
Yeah, he had one of those stuck around his neck, so everyone thought that he was proselytizing and everything, and in fact he was really just choking to death.
Yeah.
All the blood was not going to his brain.
But yeah, another one where he did multiple characters. So yeah, it didn't surprise me really.
And speaking
very
of
versatile.
Speaking of characters, let's just go to who's your favorite character in Aladdin, which obviously
Iago, hands down. Iago is my favorite.
Why do you
I love Gilbert Gottfried. Like he just aligned the comedic timing with some of the stuff. Like I watched it today earlier, and I still know so many of his lines. When they realize that they're found out, and he's running up the stairs, I think, and he makes a comment about whacking him in the head and the crackers. I'll shove the crackers down your throat. Like I just thought that stuff was so funny as a kid, and today it still cracks me up. So Iago's definitely my favorite of all of the characters.
Oh wow, he is really funny. He really is. I would say he's second, and I just you gotta love the genie, man. I mean,
it's tough. But I figure everybody picks the genie.
That's true.
You know? So,
although maybe I should say Aladdin because I did crush on him when I was younger, so that
he's a cutie. I gotta say, I'm with you there.
Wow.
Was it the flat nose? Was it the slanted eyes? Which part?
It's the charm. He's so charming and funny.
Yeah.
Gotta have a sense of humor.
Exactly. That's it. How about you, Malsey? Who's your favorite?
Well, Erin stole it from me. Somehow, female guests almost always choose the one that I'm going to choose. I was just like, actually, Iago is one of the funniest ones.
He really is. It's hysterical.
And rest in peace, Gilbert Gottfried. But golly, if there was ever a voice made for radio, oh, come on. Like, if you want anything comedic to sound, you hire that guy.
Yeah.
It's almost like he can't not be funny.
Big star in the movie, because this was right before, Disney started hiring pop stars and actresses and people like that to play the main roles in the cartoon features. So, Robin Williams obviously was the big name, but Gilbert Gottfried was also, the only other I don't know who any of the other voices are, to be honest.
Well, Aladdin, and I only know this because I used to watch the show. He was the boy. He was DJ's boyfriend from Full House.
What?
Shut up,
Scott. Yeah,
Scott with the varsity jacket guy.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
isn't that crazy?
That's wild. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's actually going to come up in an article later. What specifically what Erin was just talking about is basically one of the last times that they relied on their actors to actually be able to sing. Like Aladdin was the last one where they started to hire other actors and actresses, because before this, the person who played Belle, Judy Benson, who played Ariel, they all could actually sing. Even Miss, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but the girl who played Miss Teapot in Beauty and the
Mrs.
Beast, she
Puff.
sang that song.
Oh, that's Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, Lansbury.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could sing.
Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Huh? Wait, I don't know what happened. Jess, you want to, excuse me. Jess, you want to take us to the next part?
Sure. So I kind of want to touch on the themes a little bit, how like, there's the whole thing about the fulfillment of wishes and how, at first it seems like everything is all like it's the solution to like winning the lottery, but then ends up being the problem a bit. I think that's an interesting thing to touch on, especially like with the genie and like Aladdin and what he's trying to do, like impress a girl.
Yeah.
So what are our thoughts on that kind of stuff?
No, for sure. I think one of the things I had written down, I'm trying to look at my notes, was the idea that everybody, regardless of poor or rich, has some sort of stressor, outside influence that makes you kind of feel like you can't accomplish what you want to accomplish. And I think you're right. Like, it's a temporary solution, but it ends up causing more problems in the long run for him, because then he's a liar.
Yeah, exactly.
And lying is never good. And for a children's movie, you kind of need to bring that to the forefront, that lying can get you so far, but eventually it's going to be your downfall.
Yeah. And it also, like him, all of a sudden it's like, you're going to marry Jasmine, but you're going to be the Sultan now too. And he was
you
like,
gotta be president, bro.
Shit. He was going, oh my God, now I got to be Sultan. Oh boy.
Right.
What did I get myself into?
Yeah, so there's some things you got to really think about. And you're like,
Yeah.
Here's one of the things I would like to ask both of you ladies. I was talking to Jess the other night, and we were kind of discussing this a little bit. I feel like most of the characters in this film didn't really go through a character arc. Now, I can substantiate on that way more if you have questions. But so Aladdin starts out as a thief, very quick-witted, but he's just trying to make ends meet. He's trying to get by. He finds a girl. He's trying to make ends meet in a more promiscuous way and trying to get by on her face. But also, Jasmine doesn't really have a character arc. Jafar doesn't. The Sultan doesn't. The genie, I believe, is basically the only one who does have the character arc. And the reason why I say that is because he's used to being used, and he knows, like, hey, after 3 wishes, boom, I'm out. My contract is done. Right. However, because he actually cares, and Aladdin shows that he actually cares, because we all know from the beginning that he's only doing it because it's for survival. Like, you see when he steals the loaf of bread, he finally gets away, and he sees the hungry kids, and he's just like, have my piece. Like, you can see he's kind-hearted already. But the genie actually stays around in the end.
Yeah, because
he said, in subsequent films.
Yeah, and the genie did say at that one part, I'm starting to grow fond of you. So they're actually starting to like form a friendship, because Aladdin was a bit more, he wasn't treating him like you're my slave and you have to do what I say. They were kind of more like bonding and like, joking and being, friends. So it was
right.
It was
I mean,
much different.
Aladdin didn't seek out the lamp. He came upon it because it was kind of forced upon him, because he was the chosen one or whatever. So, I think he went into it with a little bit more skepticism, like, what is this? And what do you mean? And I think you're right. The genie was like, oh, not all masters are complete jerks. Like, some of them are, decent people.
Kind of creepy. Like, it was cool, but it was like creepy too at the same time, you know,
Yeah.
in some ways.
Which
And
way?
just like thinking of being trapped in there, you're like, oh my God, I want to be trapped
Yeah.
in there.
Nope.
You know, when everything
thanks.
turns to lava and then the face literally just bites down and closes into nothing.
Yeah, and you're on a carpet
Mm-hmm.
that's flying.
Well, the Baba had them 40 thieves, Sherazade had 1,000 tales. Jess, I kind of telegraphed that, but what's our next topic?
Favorite songs, which
Favorite
are a lot of
song.
good songs, so it might be kind of hard to pick a favorite.
It is. I like them all. My favorite is, I mean, probably the Genie song, I would say, just because it's so wild and over the top. And there's lots of funny references in there, you know, to pick up on.
Yeah,
It's clever.
Never Had a Friend Like Me. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
good ones there.
I-
Although I kind of like the beginning song, the Arabian Nights one, like the very beginning.
Yeah.
I like
do
it because
like
it had
that
to be
one.
censored.
Oh,
It did?
really?
It used to be like, well, if they don't like your face, then they'll cut off your ear. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home. It's something close to along those lines, and they had to censor the lyrics. So anything that has to be censored because it's too triggering, I'm your guy.
Yeah, it did have that disclaimer at the beginning when I started it on Disney Plus. It was like, there may be out of date themes and, you know, negative connotations toward races and cultures. I was like, it's Aladdin.
Or maybe it was a part of the 1001 Nights. That's an actually, I know it's 1,001 nights, but technically, using Common Core math, it's
Right.
1001. Yeah, it
I
is
don't know
actually
what
a
it was.
Middle Eastern folklore and stories from going back over 300 years. And the Aladdin portion was added by a French author who heard it from word of mouth from some other person. So actually, we could get into that later if you want to.
Interesting. Yeah.
Some think it's just this person's own, bloviating on their own life, and some people think it actually dates back where Aladdin's actual story was set in China.
Wow.
Really? China? It just
didn't
seems
know
so
that.
interesting that it would be in China. Like,
There's evidence for it. I don't have it pulled up, so that is for another stream. I just think it's interesting.
it is quite interesting.
It is interesting.
Now, speaking of controversies, well, everyone got their favorite song out, right? We good? So, speaking of controversies, how's about we go into something else? And yes, your fucking pronouns! Let me make this a little bit bigger, and Jess, you can start us off with the reading. Oops.
Oh boy. The Aladdin controversy Disney can't escape.
Isn't it funny that I made an ads joke, and this is actually from the BBC when he has a much better show?
That's right.
All right, so let's see how long it takes for us to get completely pissed off about this.
Okay. As the filmmakers of the new live-action remake of Aladdin struggle to cast their hero, Sophia Smith-Galler looks at the whatever.
Just
Looks at
always
the
assume they're gay.
Okay. Looks at the troubled history of the Disney classic. For many, Disney's 1992 film Aladdin conjures up images of innocence, star-crossed lovers on a magic carpet, benevolent pet tiger, and a comedic genie who would grant every heart's desire. Less well known is the fact that the film sparked a racial controversy, one that is still reverberating today. Wow. Wow.
Nah, fuck that next paragraph. Who cares?
Oh,
Of
what is
course,
the
it always goes
controversy?
back to race. Well,
Well,
take a wild
it's
guess,
that
Erin.
I'm trying to read it.
The filmmakers, including director Guy Ritchie, are on the hunt for leads who can live up to the animated film's lovable street urchin Aladdin and Princess Jasmine. It's been revealed that they're struggling to wrap up their months-long search because of a difficulty in finding a singing, dancing actor who is Middle Eastern or Indian to play the title role.
Oh, so
Disney have
it's
not.
this you can't play the part unless you are the part. Nonsense.
This is
Same
what.
thing.
Yes.
what's the
They
point of
did
being
this
an
Yasmin.
actor
with
then?
the Lilo and Stitch casting is the most recent one
Oh,
that I heard come out of
yes.
Disney about this,
Yes.
that the actress that they chose who's native Hawaiian, but
Mhm.
doesn't look native Hawaiian enough or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fits the blood type, not the melanin type.
I can't. I don't.
This is
God.
what these people on the board of Big Fig, shout out Jeremy, are constantly talking about.
I mean, it's so stupid because then
Sigh.
it defeats the purpose of people being actors. Like if you're an actor, you're supposed to play a part of something that you're not. So like, and then you having to play something that you are, it's like, well, it's. I mean, it kind of
Right.
defeats the purpose. I feel like of.
Well, the only time this ever worked is when Mark Hamill voiced the Joker
Oh.
because he's a fucking idiot and a Joker in real life too. So that's one time where it worked out in their favor, but most of
That
the
is true.
time, no.
As I sip from my Star Wars mug.
Oh. Well, it looks like it might be one of the older ones, so
Yeah, it is.
you're good.
Oh, this is what I was just talking about, actually. The original lyric in the first verse of the song Arabian Nights, where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face. It's barbaric, but yes, it's home.
Yeah. I
And
forgot
so
about that.
it was already having backlash on release. Because I know I watched the VHS, like the original version, before Disney Plus ever came in and like
Yeah,
decided
we
to,
all did.
put a thumb in the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that wasn't in there. That wasn't in the original cut.
Yeah, it's just silly because it's like when you're watching it, I mean, you are kind of like learning about the different culture, like look at Mulan too, and even like Pocahontas. It's like you're learning about these different cultures, and yet it's like they just think, oh my God, you're showing it in the you can't. It's just like, well, how else are some people going to learn about it?
Right.
So it's just so silly. And
It is silly because I think about, I'm a little bit, I know I'm older than you, Jess. I don't know if I won't ask Malty how old he is,
I'm
but
35.
but I was around when, the re-release of Peter Pan came out in the 80s. And they go on and on about the scenes that Native Americans depicted in that film. And as a child, I didn't grow up racist against Native Americans because I saw a Disney cartoon where they're talking about how red they are in a song. Like I just think it's you're perpetuating the problem.
Yeah,
is what
it
they're
is.
doing.
Yeah, it really
I don't
is.
get it. It's silly. It's like you said, Jess. It's they're actors.
Yeah.
Their job is to pretend to be something that they're not. Men used to play women in theater because women couldn't act.
Yeah, look at all the Shakespeare. Yeah, all the old Shakespeare plays. It was all dudes, even playing the women parts.
Y'all check this out real quick.
It's acting. You're acting like something you're not.
Y'all check this part out real quick. There is a commanding link between make-believe aberrations and the real world. Well, in the real world, if you're gay over there, they throw you off the rooftops.
Right.
Yeah, they don't joke.
You are publicly executed in the street city square. Right. So if you want to talk about the real world, how about you shut your fucking mouth and appreciate the fictionalized world that Disney like glossed over with a coat of paint?
Correct.
Stupid
And it's
bitches.
make believe.
And Agrabah is not a real city, by the way.
Yeah, it's made up.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that it was a fictional world they made up?
Oops.
My goodness.
Who would
That's
think
the whole
anything?
point of fiction.
They all think with a gash that they got at 12 years old after a whole bunch of puberty blockers.
They overthink all of it.
Yeah,
is the way I see it. They overthink all of it.
They nitpick everything, and
it perpetuates the problem.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I saw Peter Pan and I wasn't like, oh, I don't like Native Americans because they make, funny. I didn't even get it.
No.
I
You're on
was like,
stream with me. I know you don't hate Native Americans.
He is one.
How?
I don't understand. It's so silly. And it's like you're pointing it out to bring light to it, not to shame it, but to shame those that make other things that might use similar, themes, or a kid can't even wear face paint to a football game without people losing their minds over it. It's like, is it necessary? Like, it's pretend. It's not even real. It's a cartoon, for goodness sake. Somebody drew it.
Well, speaking of that kid, that was a self-own on themselves because he was a fan of the Chiefs and he was actually Native American born and blood.
Yeah.
And they tried to make that into like a virtue signaling, like a racial thing. It was like, if you're gonna follow these rules, like you need to follow your own rule. You fucked up. You stepped in it.
Yeah.
Sure. They did.
And now that family is getting a lot of money.
Good, they should.
Damn well deserved.
It's a football team, for goodness sake. Like,
but it was blackface. The other side was red.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Which are the Chiefs' colors?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're grasping
at
straws.
One about Travis Kelce, but like those are the Chiefs' colors.
I didn't realize that about. I mean, I didn't like the live action Aladdin as much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to hold a candle to Robin Williams, and I think that Will Smith was probably like one of the better options to choose to be the genie in that, but he was not at the peak of his career in any way, shape, or form at that point, and it was almost like they were trying to revive him, and it just didn't take.
But here's the thing: like Will Smith could not imitate Robin Williams' presence. Like it's impossible. Robin Williams is Robin Williams. Nobody can imitate that. He was who he was.
That's the problem, is that he was trying to imitate him too. And also, a little side note: at least they didn't try to cast James Corden, but because that would have been he probably would have been in the casting room.
Oh,
Will Smith's better than that, and he used to have a singing career.
Oh, God.
But the thing is, you cannot capture Robin Williams, vivacity for life and his comedic timing and how just like off the wall ADHD he was, but always funny. So it's best to not try to imitate it. It's best to try to come up with your own version.
Agreed. And he didn't. No. And it was noticeable. And it was kind of disappointing because, I liked the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, I thought Will Smith was great. Man.
Yeah.
And, it was nice to see him do well, but he didn't hit the mark with that one. And I think the movie kind of flopped, didn't it? I mean,
no, it did. No, it did almost $1 billion.
Oh, did it really?
For real?
Wow. I mean, my kids weren't in the age range, and it's more of a girly movie to my boys, so they didn't watch it.
It must have been because they're tugging on the nostalgia of us older people. And they're going, oh, look, we remember this, but we remade it. And it's like,
oh my God, made $1,046.5 million.
Oh, wow.
Are you serious?
When did it come out? 2018, 2019? It was right before
20
COVID,
is
wasn't it?
2019.
Yeah.
I'll share my screen just so y'all can see it without having to look it up.
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause holy crap! Wow. Oh, it was 2019. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. People were still going to the movies. Yeah.
International is where it actually. Well, all right. So if y'all know how to differentiate the numbers, you get half and half from domestic box office.
Oh,
Internationally, the studios only get about 25% of that.
wow.
So,
Really?
I mean, it
Huh.
made money. It definitely made money,
Yeah. Huh.
but not as much as what that number suggests, since most of it was international. And
Hmm.
Brian Kennel talks about this stuff all the time. That's the only reason why I know those metrics.
What came out before that was live action from them? Cinderella?
No. That was
The live
much
and
earlier.
the Maleficent,
Oh yeah.
right? Those
That was that.
those
There was
ones
a
had
Lion
come out
King, right?
prior.
Wasn't
There
there
was
the
Lion
previous Lion
King.
King one? Yeah.
But no, that was that after. I think that was after Aladdin, wasn't it?
I feel like it was before for some reason.
Well, maybe. I don't remember.
Oh, I think that was the same year, actually, because
Or the same year.
yourmoviesucks.org talks about that all the time. Lion King 2019.
The Beauty and the Beast one was 27. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
2017.
that one too. I did take my daughter to see that, and I liked that
Yeah.
version. They stuck pretty close to things. There was a little bit of some stuff in it that I wasn't like too excited about at the end. But otherwise I thought they stuck to the story pretty good, and I like Emma Watson as an actress.
I like her when
I
she's
liked her
spaced
in
out
Harry
with
Potter and
Apollo.
stuff.
I think I just didn't. I did not really like it. It was so like the whenever they do the CG, it just doesn't have the same spunk and character as the animated thing. So it's like
True.
it's really hard to like. I don't know. It's really hard to like it because they seem so soulless.
It was
know?
absolute dog shit. Let's be real. They couldn't even get Chip's chip on the right side of his head. And then Lumiere and Cogsworth look like absolute fucking clowns when they're so emotive in the originals.
Wasn't it Ewan McGregor? I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Ewan McGregor or Ewan McGregor.
Gandalf.
And I
And
will
Angela
say
Lansbury again.
Emma Watson could have been an amazing Belle. I don't give a shit that you have to auto tune her voice for her singing things. I don't really care about that. She could have been a great Belle, but they fucked the story in every single way.
You think so? Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't feel like it was like completely.
Oh, you're gonna get him going. We maybe we better hold off because
we're talking about Aladdin.
Maybe we should do a Beauty and the Beast stream.
We
later.
did actually.
Oh, did you?
We did it with
Go back
Gall.
and watch it.
Yeah.
With green hair and a
did it with
liberal. Yeah, she's on there.
Yeah. Because we're
Gal.
very passionate.
Yeah, I like Gal.
Yeah, we're very passionate about Beauty and the Beast, so we kind of go off.
I didn't hate it, but I haven't dissected it either. And like I said, I saw it in the theater, I think with my daughter who loved it. You know, at the time she was only like 12, I think. So she thought it was great. I had to download the soundtrack on iTunes for, so
really
do it. So but I don't remember hating it. I remember thinking like there were some bits and pieces that were weird, but overall I came out of the theater, and was like, all right. But Aladdin, I didn't feel that way. Aladdin, I watched it on streaming, I think, and was just like, meh, like this doesn't hold a candle to the cartoon original.
Yeah, I never saw the live action one. The only live action one I saw was Beauty and the Beast, and after that I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna watch these anymore. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna see that Aladdin one, even though I
liked the Cinderella one too.
Now, okay,
well,
yes, I did see that one, and that one was actually
they added to the story. They made her mom a real person, which was, our girl there, what's her name? Haley Atwell. Everybody loves her. She played her mother. Yeah, she sang a little song. It was so cute. Like I liked that they gave Cinderella a mom because they don't have her have one in the original stories. Really, it's just that her mom's
just her
passed
dad.
on, and then her dad is, dead, and so I
She's
like
got
that
the
they
evil stepmother.
Yeah.
right.
That
Yeah,
makes
Kate
her clean the
Blanchett in
floors.
that one, I think.
Yeah.
Right? She was
Mhm.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. I remember smiling through that one. I liked
Yeah,
it. I
no,
liked the
that
guy.
one. Yeah.
What's his name from Game of Thrones was the prince, right?
Rob Stark.
Was that
Yes,
Ro
yeah.
Oh
My husband kept
my
going on about his teeth.
god!
He's like, "That guy's got $1 million smile." Like, 'cause he's always like,
Gay.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Oh, goodness.
I love it, oh my god.
But, yeah, I liked that one. That was alright.
That one was good, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have
Very
a smile, so let's have some more smiles. How about it? What do y'all think?
Yeah, I wanna smile more.
Smiles are good.
Oh, I thought Jess was loading screen again.
Oh, come on. Don't have to just do this all the time.
Chill, girl.
That.
yay.
So this is from Mental Floss, 15 Fun Facts about Aladdin, and the first are about none other than Robin Williams. So I'll read the first. Jess, if you want to do the second. Erin, I don't know if you want to read on
I
screen.
can't even see it. Like, I'd have to be like,
Okay, so Jess and I will take care of that then. No problem. Boom. To land Robin Williams, the animators created test sequences of the genie performing the comedian's stand-up routines. Eric Goldberg led the team of animators who were in charge of creating Genie. When he was first handed the script by co-directors Ron Clements and John Musker, Goldberg was also told to dig up some old Robin Williams comedy albums. John and Ron said, pick a couple of sections from his comedy albums and animate a genie to him. And that's what Goldberg told Entertainment Weekly. That's essentially all I did. Williams came in to see the test, and Goldberg says, I think what probably sold him was the one where he says, tonight let's talk about the serious subject of schizophrenia. No, it doesn't. Shut up. Let him talk. What I did is animate the genie growing another head to argue with himself, and Robin just laughed. He could see the potential of what the character could be. I'm sure it wasn't the only factor, but then he signed on the dotted line.
Yeah, I heard that when he was doing this, there's like so many like what do you call them? B-rolls of like his improv from this. Like they have so many of those left over from
It's
when he was
hours and hours and hours of improv.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. So you want me to pick up right here? Okay.
Yes, please.
The movie's producers had backup choices if Robin Williams declined the role. That would have been really interesting. Though the role of the genie was written specifically for Williams, then studio chief Jeffrey Katzenberg,
who later started DreamWorks.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yep.
Had many reasons to doubt that they'd be able to sign him. Money, timing, contracts, and of course, landing an A-lister for a voiceover role. He insisted the team come up with alternative choices. Had Williams declined, Genie could have been voiced by John Candy, Steve Martin, Eddie Murphy, Martin Short, John Goldman, or Albert Brooks.
I think all of those would have been good choices as well, though.
No, they used Albert Brooks and Eddie Murphy later on.
Right? Yeah, they did.
In Mulan.
Yeah,
Eddie Murphy and Mulan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they ever used Steve Martin. That would have been interesting.
I don't think so. I think he's kind of a prima donna.
Yeah, because Albert Brooks is the dad in Nemo, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's the dad in Nemo.
Wow.
And John Candy did not live very long. He died pretty soon.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the only one in that group that could even come close would be Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's pretty wild. You know, like he can get animated, but
it could have. I mean, he and Robin Williams had that same really, animation,
that energy.
Yeah, the energy about them. But it's really hard to imagine either one of these other people as Genie instead of him. It just is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah. Well, this next point, I think I touched on it in the beginning of this video. Aladdin marked the end of voice actors in Disney musicals needing to be magnificent singers. Linda Larkin was the voice of Princess Jasmine. However, she never sang a single note attributed to the princess. That was done by singer Lea Salonga. Salonga these nuts are in now. Just kidding. Golly, I couldn't help myself.
Gotta
Aladdin
love the
Mark.
D's nuts jokes. Oh, God.
I wasn't even planning that. Aladdin marked one of the first times a voice actor in a Disney musical didn't also have to be a magnificent singer. Larkin says this was the result of the film being built around Robin Williams, who was such a powerful force that Disney's priority was finding strong actors who could keep pace with him. They came to me and asked, "Do you sing?" Larkin recalled, and I said, "I do, but not like a princess." Okay. And they said, "No problem. We'll find a singer to match your voice." And they did. And to me, it's such an amazing match to my voice that it's almost seamless when they go from dialogue to the song and back to dialogue. And you see what happened. From that point forward, that opened up the world of Disney animation to everybody. They no longer needed actors who sang.
I was saying it's just like in Pocahontas, where the lady who voiced her, they had a different lady who was her singing voice. So they were doing that around that time, yeah.
I will say as well though, 1994 Lion King, the only one that should ever matter. So Jonathan Taylor Thomas plays young Simba. However, he's not young Simba's singing voice. But
Yeah.
adult Simba is Matthew Broderick, and he came from stage productions, and he actually does the adult Simba singing voice.
He did? Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think I knew that either. I didn't
Wow.
realize.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Wow. Wild.
Yeah, they still do that occasionally. I know with
Mm-hmm.
The Greatest Showman,
Oh,
Yeah, Hugh
woman who
Jackman.
plays the woman who plays his wife, not his wife, she sings. The opera singer, the one that was a singer in the movie, the girl that plays the mother in the Dune series now. She did not sing. They got some British pop star, I think, to sing that song, which was one of the most popular songs of the film. And she did a fabulous job, like lip syncing it, for the camera. I figured it was her. I was like, oh, I didn't know she could sing. Like, wow. No, it wasn't her. Somebody
wow,
else.
crazy.
Yeah, so they
You know
still
who else
do
is
that.
Who's going to make an Ashley Simpson joke, but you kind of have to be a boomer to get that reference.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, Malty. Oh, I know. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be a boomer. Oh my God, my mom wouldn't know who Ashley Simpson is, and she's a boomer.
I'm pretty sure that all three of us are categorized as millennials.
I'm a Zennial because I won't say what year I was born, but I'm right like at the cusp.
Girl, I was born in 1992.
They kept moving the goalposts to all the way back to I was born in 88. I have no problem telling anybody that.
No, I don't care either.
I was like, it started out millennials were born in 92, 93. And then they just kept moving it back all the way until the 80s. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why do they do
I
that?
always considered myself Gen X. I mean, I remember the Gen X Pepsi ads with Max Headroom, on TV. So,
With
I mean,
Ray
I was
Charles.
born in 79. So 77 is what they say the cutoff is now, I think, for Gen X. And then they lump like 78 through 83 into that Zennials, like, because we weren't millennials, but we weren't like older Gen X either.
Interesting.
But we were latchkey kids. Like we came home to no parents home, and I rode my bike all summer out in the the community doing whatever. I didn't. I didn't have a babysitter that often.
Oh,
this
really?
girl born in 1979, and look how well she carries her age.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry, the fire hydrants needed to break in Jess's bathroom.
What? Be quiet.
She has so little melanin, we all needed to put on sunglasses so she doesn't blind us.
Hey.
Hey. All right. Anywho, if y'all are ready, let's go back to this article. And Jess, you can take the next two.
Yeah, I need to take those off so I can actually see.
I know.
Boom.
Oh my gosh. Oh, here he is. So I'm starting. Okay. So Gilbert Gottfried wasn't the first choice for Iago. The role of the sarcastic evil parrot was offered to Danny DeVito and Joe Pesci, but they both declined. Wow, that would have been very interesting.
Would have been different.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito would later show up in Hercules.
That is correct.
Yeah.
He does. Yes. And now, the next one, the boy who voiced Aladdin was the boyfriend of DJ on Full House. I used to love this show. I would watch the reruns all the time. Teen actor Scott Wagoner, who was 17 years old at the time, was sure he'd blown the voiceover audition when his voice cracked on the first song. Oh. Luckily, he had no idea he was auditioning for Disney's Next Powerhouse feature, or he would have much more worried. That doesn't make any sense. Or he would have been much more worried. Oh my god! In the end, it didn't matter. Disney thought his voice personified the cocky street urchin. Perfect. He wasn't cocky. I don't think he was.
He was he was witty, kind of like Spider-Man.
Yeah, more
just
witty.
Making quips.
Yeah, more witty. Disney thought his voice personified blah, blah, blah. Aladdin's singing voice, however, would be performed by Brad Kane. At the same time he was voicing Aladdin, he was also playing Steve Hale. There he is, DJ's boyfriend on Full House. The series made a bizarre nod to Wagner's dual roles when the Full House girls visit Disneyland. Oh, interesting. Wow.
Huh.
Next up, the genie's lines recorded up to 20 different ways. 20 times 20, probably. Williams was only available for a handful of recording sessions, so he'd give a rapid-fire delivery of each line as written, in as many different styles as he could create. Robin had so much freedom, and ad-libbing was always encouraged, Goldberg told Entertainment Weekly. He always gave us such a huge amount to choose from. He would do a line as written, but he would do it as 20 different characters, and John and Ron and I would take those tracks back to the studio and really put the ones in that made us laugh the most, and were the ones that we thought were best suited to the lines. So even though he gave us the W.C. Fields, Groucho Marx, Peter Lorre on no substitutions, exchanges, or refunds, we said, okay, the Groucho one goes here.
Yeah, I mean, people have always, well, not people have always, but comedians in movies tend to ad-lib a lot, so I don't think people really realize that that's how they worked back then, though. Now we hear about it, because celebrities got their pulse on the internet and tell us all about it all the time.
Oh my god, that was the mistake of giving them freaking social media accounts. We were better off not knowing.
Well, it's a good and a bad thing. Good in cases like this, good in shows like The League, bad in cases like Ghostbusters 2016.
That's true. That's true.
So Jeffrey Katzenberg used a secret box to inspire Williams' portrayal of the peddler, and that's the beginning of the film. The peddler, also voiced by Williams, we talked about that also, tries to interest the audience in his wares. The products weren't in the script, they were in a box, says Goldberg. One of Katzenberg's great ideas was to fill a box with stuff, put a cloth over it, and then when Robin's in front of the mic, pull the cloth off and he riffs with whatever he picks up out of the box. And that's exactly how we did that character.
That's cool.
That's amazing. Wow.
I guess that's how that's why we got the little Ronco section. Also makes great julienne fries. Because there were a lot of telecommercials back then.
That is very true. There were. Yep.
Go ahead with this one, Jess. The next one. The illustrators tried to make the characters look unrealistic on purpose.
Wow. In Aladdin's predecessor, Beauty and the Beast, immense effort was devoted to making the characters' faces, bodies, and movements as realistic as possible. Supervising animator Andreas Deja, who drew Gaston in Beauty and the Beast and Jafar in Aladdin, told the Los Angeles Times that now we refer to some of our earlier efforts as chiseled realism. On Gaston's face, we established a lot of planes on his cheekbones and chin to achieve that realism. We did away with that approach for the magical world of Aladdin and used simple two-dimensional shapes as references for all the characters. Aladdin is composed of two interlocking triangles formed by his chest and his pants. Jasmine is sort of pear-shaped. Jafar is basically T-shaped, very skinny body with those broad shoulders. Deja said, I kept that T-shape in mind when I was animating, making sure it came through kept me from cluttering up the drawings. Interesting.
I always did think Jafar's neck was like bizarrely like large to his shoulders. It's like, why does this guy, is that like part of his outfit? I could never figure that out.
I think actually, yeah, I think it was because of how the dress was. It was like just this piece of like cloth. I think it was a part of his outfit. That's why it looked that way.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But it makes sense if they were trying to make it look striking like that.
It was gaunt and like gaunt chin, which you could see all of that, and harsh lines because he's a harsh character, and they softened the characters you were supposed to go for, and that's like subliminal stuff that they were doing, and it was all for a reason.
Yeah, makes sense. It works.
I mean, because look,
softer.
Yeah, look how they animated the Sultan. He's this short, bubbly, fat dude, and you're just like, oh,
like a mini Santa.
Yeah, he is.
Exactly. Like, he was animated that way on purpose, even though he was over all the land, like he was Sultan of Agrabah and all the surrounding lands.
Right.
But it's just subliminal stuff that tells you something more about their character.
I like it.
Yeah. And it looks like it just kind of talks more about like the animation process and whatnot, which I don't know, might be kind of boring to some people. But I personally find it pretty fascinating. I always like watching behind the scenes of the animation and whatnot and what they did. Like I really liked watching Glenn Keane draw. It's just, oh my gosh, he's freaking amazing, that guy. It's just phenomenal what he's done. Oh my gosh, it's called admiration. Malty.
I know, Jess.
You.
Other people don't know how much we talk, actually, so like, they might not get it.
It's true. Oh.
All right, so let's cut ahead, and this will probably be the last bullet point that we read, number 14. This other stuff is a little tedious for what we're doing, just having fun. That's the point of this, and reminiscing about a time when Disney made good films and ones that stuck with us as kids and well into adulthood.
Yeah.
So the last thing, I think a lot of people, if you kept up with it, Robin Williams had a famous feud with Disney. And he said he would never be a voice actor for him again. This says it had absolutely nothing to do with money, so let's read a little bit. So when Williams refused to do the voice of Genie for the first sequel, Dan Castellaneta, shout out Homer Simpson, also the voice of the robot devil in Futurama, rumors flew as to the motivations. Wow. Yeah. Disney insiders suggested he was insulted to have been paid scale, which is $75K for a project that grossed $650 million within 4 years. But Williams didn't give a shit about the money. He stated that he'd done the movie for the pride of being part of the history of animation and for his own children at the time. The problem was breach of contract, at least according to Williams. Williams didn't want his voice used for anything but the movie. And there is a marked difference, even though Dan Castellaneta did do a pretty good job in Return of Jafar, which was a straight-to-video sequel. You could tell it's not Robin Williams. It doesn't capture the same aesthetic. All of a sudden, They released an advertisement. One part was the movie, the second part was where they used the movie to sell stuff, Williams said. Not only did they use my voice, they took a character I did and overdubbed it to sell stuff. That was the one thing I said, I don't do that. That was the one thing where they crossed the line, which makes sense. I guess it would depend on the contract that you signed. Because I know they can't use your voice in perpetuity, but can they, when you are known for the voice of a beloved character?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough spot right there.
That sounds like it would hold up well in court. Disney made no official statements until the studio president, at the time, Katzenberg, was replaced by Joe Roth. Then an official apology was issued. Robin complained that we took advantage of his performance as the genie in the film, exploiting him to promote some other businesses inside the company. We had a specific understanding with Robin that we wouldn't do that. Nevertheless, we did that. We apologized for it. Well, a little too late. So that would hold up in court, and you just admitted guilt. And you told the LA Times, of all places.
I don't remember this feud, to be honest.
I do.
I don't. Maybe like the commercials, like he was mad about the commercials. Like that sounds familiar to me, but this is saying that that people thought it was about money. So
yeah, I don't remember hearing about that either.
This is also before social media, so the little bit that does get filed on the document, people are going to speculate. They couldn't speculate as much as they do nowadays, but it's been going on for, golly, over 20 years now, almost 30 years.
Wow. I knew he never did it again after that. The genie, but
he did agree to come back because it was settled.
Oh, good. Wow.
I just didn't want to bring that part up.
Interesting.
Well, it looks like we stumbled near the gates of Mordor because we have the Mouth of Sauron. Oh, no, never mind. Erin's still here. And I'm channeling Nerd Wars. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
You need a tinfoil hat.
Yeah, we need a tinfoil hat. That'd be perfect.
All right, Jess. Next thing.
Well, I thought since we're gonna start wrapping it up, we'll just talk about what a favorite line of ours was, or anything that just stuck out and it just stayed with us for a bit, or just meant something or what have you.
Lines that stuck out. The one that this time when I watched it, I thought was funny, more so than I have in the past in watching it, was when Aladdin's in the dungeon, and Jafar is in disguise as like the creepy guy that's like, teeth hanging out all over. And he makes a remark about, the riches. And Aladdin's like, I can't get out and get these riches. I'm stuck in here. And he's like, well, the people who have the gold, you remember the golden rule. It's those that have the gold make the rules. And that was the first time I heard that line and actually took it for kind of what it meant. Like those that have the money and the power are the ones that run things. And I didn't take it that way as a kid. As a kid, I was like, the golden rule, like treat elders how you want to be treated.
That's what I would do.
That was the golden rule to me. So it stuck out this time because I was like, ooh, I never caught that in that way before.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know if I really have a particular line that really stuck out to me necessarily that I can really remember much.
I mean, I definitely have one. Yeah, I do. People who know me or people who want to get to know me, I don't hide the fact that I suffered from severe depression a lot when I was younger, still to this day, but I know how to tamper it down, and that's why I'm making extremely racist jokes. But hey, it's true. I don't hide from it. But it's actually a part of one of Aladdin's songs.
Oh.
Me. Riff raff, street rat, I don't buy that. If only they'd look closer,
Oh.
would they see a poor boy? No siree. They'd find out there's so much more to me.
Oh,
I
yeah,
always
that is
felt
a
that
good
way, and I was like,
song.
y'all just gotta fucking pay attention, like, or just
Yeah.
give me a chance. I'm only an asshole on the outside.
That's but no, that is a good. That's a good little song that he's saying.
It is.
Yeah.
Jess, during all of this kerfluffle, have you thought of one of your favorite lines or something that just sticks out to you, even if it's just a comedic line?
Yeah, or maybe it's like when Jasmine was talking about how she wanted to, be free, have her life, not have people, chart her life for. I'm kind of paraphrasing,
She's
obviously,
not
because
a
I can't.
prize to be won.
Oh yeah, the whole not. I'm not a prize to be won. Yeah. I wouldn't say that's necessarily a favorite, but I just thought it was interesting how, like, she wanted to experience things, yet she couldn't really, because I guess I kind of relate, because in a way I was kind of a bit more sheltered as a kid. And I'd be like, oh, I kind of want to experience things too. So that kind of, I guess and that little exchange between her and her father kind of stuck out more to me. So
I liked the part in regards to that when it was Aladdin and her, and
yeah,
the juxtaposition of their lifestyles and how they
yes,
both say you feel trapped,
yeah, and they said
simultaneously,
yeah,
because she's saying, I can't make any decisions on my own. I have to wear what they tell me to, talk how they tell me to, marry who they tell me to. And he's like, nobody tells me to do anything. I kind of wish I had somebody that was telling me what to do,
Yeah, or how he's kind of limited in what he can do, really, like, all in the sense of like money, I guess he's really limited,
simple.
but yeah.
A simple life for him. He lives in like a broken down building and steals food from the street vendors to eat.
Yeah.
But he still feels like he has no control over his life because he doesn't have the bare necessities even.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And she's got it all, and she still feels trapped because she doesn't have the freedom to do the things she wants.
He's caught up in the corporate structure. I don't mean to bring up politics or anything, but that's how he feels, and that's how she feels too. And when you get into the corporate structure, you feel the same way Jasmine did when you're out of it, or just trying to make ends meet. You feel the way Aladdin feels. So there is like a tandem to that.
Yeah. That regardless of rich or poor, you have struggles and outside influences that impact your ability to do what you want to do and live how you want to live.
Yeah, you're never truly free. No one ever is. No one ever truly free. And also the wish fulfillment thing, which I think Jess brought up in the beginning. That's definitely something where Aladdin learns the hard way. It's like, ooh, I get to use wishes, like anything I want. Well, there are some rules and quid pro quos. It's like it's not all carefree. You
Yeah,
can't wish the world peace. Like same thing with Bruce Almighty. You can't just grant everyone's prayers and expect things to run properly because you can't trust people. Everyone's going to be selfish. That's in our nature.
Yeah,
it's true.
Very true.
Yeah. You thought this was a rabbit? Oh my gosh. Anywho, I think it's about time that we wrap this up. Let's go ahead and go around, starting in the basement where she doesn't belong, but she will rise up to the occasion anytime she needs to. Lady Erin D, what do you have going on?
Nothing. You can find me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, Lady Erin D. I think it's at Erin D 199. Actually, is my tag on there. And I'll be in the chats. I'm always in the chats. You guys see me in Nerdrotics and and Nerd Wars. I make my rounds, so I'm sure I'll see you there. And just behave yourselves, so I don't have to kick you out.
Especially in Az's chat.
Yeah, Az's chat. The hot chat, Az's chat.
Yeah.
She'll give you a size 16 boot up the ass.
Nah. No, I'm usually good.
Oh,
I like to let people talk. The chat is the MVP, man.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so you heard it here. Follow Lady Erin D anywhere that she is, which is probably where y'all are too. And if you're not there, get your ass over there.
That's right.
She's good people, great community. Everyone is. The amount of friendships that I can only speak for myself with this, but the amount of actual friends that I've made just from being in chat, it's astounding. It blows my mind every single day.
For real. It's nice to have like-minded people that like the same stuff you do and enjoy the same, things you enjoy, and also kind of have the same beliefs and morals,
Yeah.
Especially in a place like New England, we're very blue here. So,
yeah.
Hard to find like-minded people who are more conservative up this way.
So, Jess, do you have anything to plug?
Well, if you want, I'm a writer for geeksandgamers.com, so you can go head over there and read some of my articles if you want.
Do it now.
Yay.
Get to the chopper and do it now. What else might you have coming up, Jess?
I don't know. What else have we got coming up?
Well, on top of this, as y'all all know, we are doing a series on Disney Renaissance. Later to be continued with the Disney Renaissance films, the original stories that they adapted. So we're going a little bit lighter now. We're talking about our childhood stuff. We're talking about things that we enjoyed, things that are timeless. Pretty soon we will be going into the dark depths.
The deeper dark depths
came from. Yes. And as always, join our Discord. We just like to hang out, and that's what we do over there. So if you feel the inclination, just come on over, see what it's all about, see what tickles your fancy, and ganders your goat, whatever the term for that is. And I think we will see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Oh my God. I guess we're doing it. You started the thing, Malty. You started this.
All right. What kind of goofy ass shit are we going to do this time?
Oh, yeah.
If this works.
Are you going to do it again? Oh my God.
They're going to be upside down this time. I'm pulling a full-on Nerd Wars, Erwin.
I'm the mouth of Sauron.
Oh. Okay. Oh my gosh, hold on, this cat. Holy shit.
I know my
God.
no.
Hold on, I gotta go shut my Oh my God, my cats. This is turning to a mess. I'm sorry.
Ready?
Okay, oh my God, my cat. He's like
Aaron, why do you look like a deer in headlights?
I do? Because the lighting is so bad. I'm like,
I'm making sure you're okay.
I'm fine.
All right, cool beans. Oops.
Almost set. No.
Hold on to the tassels. I've always got to throw something stupid in there.
It's just like my family's just like blah, 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 blah. Like my brother's talking, my mom is talking, so I'm kind of like trying to like talk over your background noises. I don't know.
Do y'all not know we're filming? Oh my gosh!
So I feel bad that I keep. I'm like, shit.
No worries, Jess. You've only frozen up once.
I did.
Oh gosh, twice because you just did it again.
What? Did I really?
Oh my gosh, timing.